to order. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Person? Ms. Witchy?
Here.
Mr. McGurven?
Here?
Ms. Perez?
Here.
Mr. Pavoni?
Here.
Mr. Corman?
Here.
Mr. Prince? Roll call, Mr. Mayor, 2 absent.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McGurven.
I move that we excuse the absent council members. Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Pavoni, that council excuse council members Person and Prince. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to administrative report, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I have a couple of items for you this evening. First, an invitation to come and enjoy lunch and a cool treat at the Otter Pops with Cops on Tuesday, July 16th at 11:45 a.m. at the Stonebrook Apartments. Everyone agrees. All ages from 1 to 18 are welcome. Also, join us at Piazza Park for the next installment of the free summer concerts and entertainment series on Thursday, July 18th at 7 p.m. Dana Osborne will be performing classic rock and pop music as well as original songs. For more information, you can check out the schedule at rentonwa.gov/concerts. That's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to audience comment, I have one person signed up to address the council. Can you please come to the podium, give your name and city residence for the record, and you have 5 minutes. I'm sorry? Okay.
Thank you. I'll just take a few minutes of your time. Can you hear me okay?
Sure.
Okay. I'm Coral Morrissey. I live in Renton. And I've not been with the council here. Newly retired, I'm working with a group called People for Climate Action, which is not a lobbying group. Rather, it's a group of citizens with expertise who are really interested and supportive of the fact that Renton was one of the sign-on cities to the K4C. And we've been following this, and we look at the research that's been done on cities that have a comprehensive climate action plan. And we're compelled by that. Portland being the closest nearby, they've had a comprehensive climate action plan that's showing results in many different facets. In fact, there are 170 some items, criteria on that action plan. So they're helping us. And we want you to know that there are people here in the community interested in supporting Renton to come on board with climate action plan. Because it's a lot of work, and it's comprehensive, and there's some of us with backgrounds in research and higher ed and in the environment that have the time and willingness to help. And parallel, perhaps you know this, but in the 16 cities, there are also climate, people for climate action groups, citizen groups to help their cities. So this movement to a comprehensive plan is happening in your peer communities. So that said, what I'd like to know, well, first I want to say appreciation for Ron Straszek's work towards reporting out on the things that have been done in Renton. That was really helpful to our group, and I hope it goes out into the community, the things that are being done. So the thing we want to know, though, is what's next? What, in your mind, is it coming to the level of a comprehensive plan, or how can we help it to get that to a comprehensive plan? Will it get to the level of line items to help these issues come to the forefront so we can make the kind of change that will make a difference in our county and in our city and our county? So where are we at? That's what I'd like to know in terms of a comprehensive plan.
Well, you're asking a question that the best I can answer for you I shouldn't be answering for the council, but it's very important. It's an important topic. It's the type of thing that they'll be having a lot of discussions about on how we as a city move forward on these things. As Ron pointed out in the report, we're doing a lot of things as we learn about things that we can actually do, from converting streetlights to LED, to our solid waste principles, to buying hybrid vehicles. And we're looking at every way that we can to participate in that. It gets down to legislation on what we're going to do with new development and different things of that nature. Those are all very important policy decisions that the council will be deliberating over certainly in the near future.
So, may I ask a follow-up? Do I have enough time? That one of the key components, both in the research of what are the best practices on city-level plans and in the K4C principles, is that the historically marginalized communities be integral to anything that is rolled out. And I hope you've seen the Puget Sage report of that communities of color in South King County, and Renton was a part of that, Renton communities of color. And, if we can be of help, we think this is essential, that the people who are most affected by climate change are a part of the decision-making in this. So we're here with you. It's not an adversarial role, but we offer our help.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd just like to add to your comments, Mr. Mayor, that I also really appreciated that report that we saw in the Utilities Committee today, and it really did provide good food for thought. And I actually appreciate the suggestion about the city having some sort of comprehensive plan. In fact, maybe it can become an element of our comprehensive plan. I think that's, I think you're going down the right path, and I, for one, would really like to see the council maybe take Ron's work, which was sort of in a PowerPoint form, and turn it into some kind of a meaningful plan. And he himself has acknowledged that, that was a great effort putting all that together, but we know the city's doing a lot more in other departments, and combining that all to see really, how it stacks up and where the holes are is a great idea. So we'll follow up with that.
Okay, and who would be the key person that our organization connects with?
Ron Straka.
It would be Ron? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda, we have 8 items for council consideration. Are there any items a council member would like pulled for discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Witchy.
I move that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second?
It's been moved by Ms. Witchy, second by Mr. Corman, that council approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to unfinished business, Ms. Witchy.
Do I announce the 2 committee of the whole committee reports at this
Yes.
moment? Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have 2 committee of the whole committee reports. The first one is regarding the 2019 Comprehensive Solid Waste Management Plan for King County. The committee of the whole recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve a resolution adopting the final 2019 Comprehensive Solid Waste Management Plan for King County. This is signed by Council President Pro Tem Carol Ann Witchy.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms.
I
Witchy.
move that council concur with the recommendation of the committee of the whole.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Witchy, second by Ms. Perez, that council concur with the committee of the whole report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the second committee of the whole committee report is regarding the homeless response governance system. The committee of the whole recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the city of Renton becoming a part of the homeless response governance system and requesting that the city of Renton elected official and human services manager participate and represent the city. And this is signed by Council President Pro Tem Carol Ann Witchy.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Witchy.
I move that council concur with the recommendation of the committee of the whole.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Witchy, second by Ms. Perez, that council concur with the committee of the whole report. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, thank you. Mr. McIrvin.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Transportation Committee has 2 committee reports.
The first Transportation Aviation Committee report is regarding Duval Avenue Northeast through Northeast 7th Street to Sunset Boulevard Northeast Project, Supplemental Agreement Number 7. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the Supplemental Agreement Number 7 to CAG 16063 with Parametrics Incorporated in the amount of $266,421.95 for the Duval Avenue Northeast through Northeast 7th Street to Sunset Boulevard project. This will add services to incorporate new improvements as a result of 2 new grants and complete the design of the project. And this is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McGurran.
I move that the council concur with the Transportation Aviation Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurran, second by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Aviation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the second Transportation Aviation Committee report is regarding an appointment to the Renton Airport Advisory Committee. Dineen, please correct me.
Deneen.
Deneen, okay. Thank you. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to confirm Mayor Law's appointment of Mr. Jeff Deneen to the Renton Airport Advisory Committee, South Renton Neighborhood, alternate position for an unexpired term expiring on May 7th, 2020, and this is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McGurran.
as council knows, Mr. Deneen's been before the council a couple times on the topic of leaded fuels in aviation, and happens to live in the impacted area in South Renton neighborhood. So I think his qualifications and interest in the subject are pretty clear. So I would move that council concur with the committee report from the Transportation Aviation Committee.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. McGurran, second by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Aviation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, thank you. Ms. Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Utilities Committee has two, the Utilities Committee has two committee reports to present.
Okay.
The first Utilities Committee report is regarding the Cedar River 205 Project Levy Certification Amendment Number 5. The Utilities Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute Amendment Number 5 to CAG 15224 with Tetra Tech Incorporated in the amount of $724,607 for Phase 3 of the Cedar River 205 Project Levy Certification. This is signed by the committee chair, substitute, and member.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Perez.
I move that the council concur with the Utilities Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Perez, second by Mr. McGurran, that council concur with the Utilities Committee report. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
The next Utilities Committee report is regarding the Cedar River Section 205 Levies Accreditation Project Grant Agreement. The Utilities Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the grant agreement with King County Flood Control Zone District in the amount of $5 million for Cedar River Section 205 Levies Accreditation Project. And this is signed by the committee chair, substitute, and member.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Perez.
I move that council concur with the Utilities Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Perez, second by Mr. McGurran, that council concur with Utilities Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
I also going to present the report on behalf of the chair, Ed Prince, for the Planning and Development Committee.
Okay.
The Planning and Development Committee report is regarding the repeal of Ordinance 5900. The Planning and Development Committee concurs with the recommendation to repeal Ordinance 5900 and reinstate the code language that existed immediately prior to its adoption. Ordinance 5900 was adopted in December of 2018 as a minor code amendment to eliminate a permit exemption for wireless communication facilities in the right-of-way. However, the code change had the unintended consequence of requiring building permits for all private wireless communications facilities in the right-of-way, not only monopoles. The committee further recommends that a corrective ordinance be presented for first reading. This is signed by the committee vice chair and member.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Perez.
I move that council concur with the Planning and Development Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Perez, second by Mr. Pavoni, that council concur with the Planning and Development Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That will be it.
Thank you. Mr. Pavoni.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Finance Committee has 4 reports to be read.
Okay, the first Finance Committee report is regarding approval of claims and payroll vouchers. The Finance Committee approves the following payments. Accounts payable, total payment of $6,488,195.84 for a number of vouchers. Payroll benefit withholding for a number of vouchers, and 7 wire transfers. Payroll, total payment of $1,480,670.88 for payroll vouchers, which includes 722 direct deposits and 22 checks for the June 1st through 15th, 2019 pay period. And municipal court, total payment of $9,742 for a number of vouchers, and those voucher numbers can be found on file in the city clerk's office. And this is signed by the committee chair and member.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move that the council concur with the committee report.
Second?
Been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Ms. Perez, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the second Finance Committee report is regarding the 2019 second quarter budget amendment ordinance and amending the 2019-2020 fee schedule. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve an amendment to the 2019-2020 budget appropriations in the amount of $70,756,610, with the total amended budget to be $699,771,000 for the biennium. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve an amendment to the 2019-2020 fee schedule as noted in a red line version in the attached 2019-2020 fee schedule. The committee further recommends that the ordinance regarding the 2019 second quarter budget amendment be presented for first reading and advancement to second and final reading, and that the resolution regarding the 2019-2020 fee schedule be presented for reading and adoption. And this is signed by the committee chair and substitute.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move that the council concur with the finance committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Ms. Perez, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
The third Finance Committee report is regarding the 2019 through 2021 landscape maintenance contract agreement. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to terminate the current landscape maintenance contract and approve a new contract with Camber Corporation in the amount of $556,003.80. This contract will include the final 5 months of 2019 through the end of 2021. And this is signed by the committee chair and substitute.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
so this is somewhere where staff got to go out and rebid this because of new legislation, and it saved us quite a bit of money. So I'd like to move that the council concur with the finance committee report.
Second?
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Ms. Perez, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, and the final Finance Committee report is regarding the approval of Costco Health Solutions Agreement for Pharmacy Benefit Manager Services. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the transfer of Pharmacy Benefit Manager Services from Envision to Costco Health Solutions as of September 1st, 2019, and authorizes the mayor and city clerk to sign the agreement with Costco Health Solutions after transfer negotiations are completed. And this is signed by the committee chair and substitute.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move that the council concur with the finance committee report.
Second?
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Ms. Perez, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. I believe these two last action items saved the city about $700,000. Not bad. Okay, moving on to legislation, we have 3 resolutions and 2 ordinances this evening.
Okay, the first resolution is a resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the temporary full street closure of South 23rd Street, immediately east of Talbot Road South and east of South Morris Street, a private street, for up to 4 weeks beginning July 23rd, 2019, and concluding by August 23rd, 2019.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Witchy.
I move the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
Been moved by Ms. Witchy, second by Mr. McGurven, that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
The next resolution is a resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, adopting the 2019 Comprehensive Solid Waste Management Plan for King County.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms.
I
Witchy.
move the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
Been moved by Ms. Witchy, second by Mr. Corman, that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
The third resolution is a resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, amending the 2019-2020 City of Renton fee schedule.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Witchy.
I move that the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Witchy, second by Mr. Corman, that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the first ordinance is an ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, repealing ordinance number 5900, restoring the language in subsection 45060E2 of the Renton Municipal Code to the language prior to the passage of ordinance 5900, and providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Witchy.
I move the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
Been moved by Ms. Witchy, second by Mr. Corman, that this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, and the first reading or the final ordinance for first reading and advancement to second and final reading is an ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, amending the City of Renton fiscal years 2019-2020 biennial budget in the amount of $70,756,610 as adopted by ordinance number 5898 and thereafter amended by ordinance number 5924 and adopting an amended 2019 City of Renton salary table.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Witchy.
I move the ordinance be advanced to second and final reading this evening.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Witchy, seconded by by Mr. Corman, that this ordinance be advanced to second and final reading this evening. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, for a second and final reading, this is an ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, amending the City of Renton fiscal years 2019-2020 biennial budget in the amount of $70,756,610 as adopted by ordinance number 5898 and thereafter amended by ordinance number 5924 and adopting an amended 2019 City of Renton salary table.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Witchy.
I move the ordinance be adopted as read.
Second.
Been moved by Ms. Witchy, second by Mr. Corman, that this ordinance be adopted as read. This requires a roll call.
Ms. Witchy?
Yay.
Mr. McGurven?
Aye.
Ms. Perez?
Aye.
Mr. Pavoni?
Aye.
Mr. Corman?
Aye.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all ayes.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Megan. Moving on to new business, Ms. Witchy.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on Monday, August 5th, the Committee of the Whole will be meeting in the conferencing center at 5 p.m. There are 6 items on the agenda: council vacancy policy and procedure, 200 Mill Avenue, Renton registration program funding enforcement, short-term rentals update, PSE Energized East Side update, and emerging issues. And that is all. Oh, and on Monday, August 5th, the Community Services Committee is canceled.
Okay, did you want to announce July 22nd and 29th?
Yes. July 22nd, Monday, July 22nd, there will be no meetings. There is a council holiday. And on Monday, July 29th, there will also be no meetings, as that is a 5th Monday.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. McIrvin.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Transportation Aviation Committee will be meeting on Monday, August 5th at 4 p.m. in the council conference room. There are 4 items on the agenda: 20-mile-an-hour speed limits in neighborhoods, interfund loan for airport seismic renovation, Renton Avenue South resurfacing project change order, and emerging issues in transportation. That is all, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Perez.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, and Mr. Pavoni.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to announce the Finance Committee will be meeting August 5th at 3:30 in Council Conference Room. We have 2 items on the agenda: vouchers and emerging issues. That is
Okay.
all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And Mr. Corman?
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Meg, did you want,
Yes, I have a letter to read. under new
okay,
business.
sure.
Yeah.
Please go
Okay.
ahead.
So this is a letter from Councilmember Caroline Witchy to Council President Person, and it is dated July 15th, 2019. As you know, my decision to not run for re-election this year was based on the likelihood that my family and I will be relocating to North Carolina. As such, I will need to vacate Council seat number 3 effective September 1st, 2019. In addition, Council will need to appoint a new Council President pro tem, and I am honored that I was chosen by the Council to be the potential next president. It has been a pleasure to serve with you on council for the past 4 years, and I will carry your many tidbits of wisdom with me for years to come. Thank you for your patience and guidance as I evolved from a new candidate to an experienced council member. I have learned a lot from you, the mayor, the rest of the council, and city staff. We have some fine candidates running for my seat, and I am confident that the city will remain in good hands. I have loved my time serving on council, and I will miss you all. Kind regards, Caroline Witchy.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
So I'd like to move that we accept Councilwoman Witchy's resignation.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Ms. Perez, for council to formally accept the resignation of Councilmember Witchy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Well, we still have you for a while.
Didn't mean to get emotional. It got really real just now. Thank you, guys. Appreciate everything. It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah,
And I've learned so much from everyone, and I'm going to take it with me. And hopefully do good where I wind up.
we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. But you're not done with me yet.
No, we're not done with you yet. You still have some time to work.
Yes, we do.
What's the wish of the council?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Corman, that we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.